Is Upbank about to lose half of their customer base because of their most recent announcement, their Grow and Flow interest system? Let's talk about it. Also, please excuse me, I have gotten up off my sickbed to make this video because I've had a few requests. I have been a huge proponent of Upbank. I love using a digital cash envelope system. I'm very invested in the ecosystem. I love the app. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really great for neurodivergent folk, especially. Overall, I'm very disappointed in this announcement, to summarize. On the one hand, it's not unusual for banks to have a lot of hoops to jump through to achieve their highest interest rate. If you haven't heard the update, basically Upbank is introducing a new interest system. I think it is worth noting that 4.8% is a very high interest rate at the moment as far as Australian banks go. But the level of control over that and the hoops you have to jump through, I think, are just so unattainable for most people, especially with how Up has marketed themselves as this digital cash envelope platform. They've really encouraged you to use savers to manage your everyday spending. And so it feels a little bit like they're now penalizing their customers for using the bank the way that it was apparently intended. In some ways, this isn't strange behavior for a bank overall. It's a good interest rate if you can manage to keep all the money in there and not take anything out. Whether that's likely for most Upbank customers, I'd say no. My biggest issue with this is it flies in the face, I feel, of all of their values and all of their marketing and everything that they have portrayed as they've built this app. We're the bank with values, we're the bank that invests ethically, and we do all these ethical things, to now make it so hard for people to earn that higher interest rate, and that doesn't sit well with me. Ultimately, I do stand by what I said when I originally joined Upbank, and they didn't have the highest interest rate that was available. You do have to weigh the pros and cons, and I think that if their app enables you to save and manage your money in a much better way than you were before, then maybe that's worth losing some interest. However, like I said, it just feels like it doesn't line up with their values, and to me that feels weird. I've heard some say that this is what banks do when they're losing money. I've also heard some people say that this is what banks do when they're making way for adding in more lending products, which I think they've been pretty against so far. I don't know. I'm gonna ride it out and see if they stick to this change, because I know a lot of people are complaining and are leaving feedback, and I think that's very important. I would love to fully convert to Ubank, but they limit you to 10 savings accounts, which is a big problem for me because I currently have 20 savings accounts. At the moment, I'm probably going to stick to using Upbank for our everyday spending and move our savings accounts to Ubank. So that's my opinion as it stands. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. Like I said, I'm very sick and I have been very sick all week. So there's not a lot of brain up here in the brain pan. It's all pan, no brain at this point.